First of all, Julie, Richard, thank you.
Thank you.
Friends, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you for your inaugural meeting of Jewish outreach to the Republican Party. You have an arduous task indeed, but one worthy nonetheless. I, being a Jewish conservative, cannot voice appreciation enough for your efforts, so again, thank you. A couple days ago, President Obama had the opportunity to discuss his Middle Eastern policy. In it, he confirmed what many of us already knew long ago, that he is a disaster for Israel. President Obama stated that it is his wishes that Israel pull back and allow for the creation of a Palestine along 1967 borders. Let me put it bluntly, if Israel were to do what the president is asking her to do, Israel would essentially be committing suicide. Let me say that again, to be perfectly clear. If Israel were to do what the president is asking her to do, Israel would be committing suicide. Israel gained territory in 1967 because Israel's neighbors sought to attack her. So if Israel pulled back to a position that she was in prior to the war, she would be inviting a new war. Surely the president and his advisors would understand that. So why mention it? Why put that line in his speech? A line that sets precedents and has implications for the future. If I were Israel, I would be very wary of a second Obama term. Remember what President Obama recently did to our friend Hosni Mubarak. When the revolution in Egypt took place, at first the president supported him. But when it looked as though the rioters were gaining ground, the president dumped him like an old, worn pair of shoes. Note to Israel, you better have the advantage in every battle you fight, because if you're ever on the losing end, don't expect this president to come in and save you. He may very well be rooting for the other side. Did this president consider that Hosni Mubarak was one of the only reliable peace partners for America and Israel? Did this president consider that Mubarak prevented Hamas from getting inside Egypt to acquire weapons against Israel? Did this president consider the billions of dollars of weaponry our government has given to Egypt? And did this president consider the reach that the Muslim Brotherhood has in Egypt and around the entire region? Let me answer, no, 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 and no. So now, the Muslim Brotherhood is set to take over Egypt and tear up any and all peace agreements the country has with Israel. Now, Egypt has begun to ease border restrictions on Hamas, which will inevitably lead to huge weapons caches in Gaza, maybe some of the billions of dollars of weapons we gave Egypt. And now, Israel has to worry about a new enemy next door. Isn't one Iran enough? But to Barack Obama, the revolutionaries are praiseworthy. My Jewish friends, my brethren who were so quick to vote for this disaster last time, I beg you, for Israel's sake, do not make the same mistake twice. Barack Obama has done nothing to deserve your vote. And it's time to show him and any other politician who will place Israel in danger the door. And that brings me to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the Congresswoman who was recently named chairwoman of the Democratic National Committee, or DNC, charged with bringing President Obama the Jewish vote in 2012. Hey, Debbie, where were you when Barack Obama decided to include 1967 borders in his speech to the nation? You are the head of the Democratic Party. Where was your leadership? To this point, Representative Wasserman Schultz has been silent about the issue. But I'll tell you who hasn't been silent. Debbie's anti-Israel friends at J Street. J Street, the group that says Israel's defense of her nation is no different than the Palestinian suicide bombers who threaten her. Today, on the homepage of J Street's website, in big bold letters, you can read the following. Recognizing a Palestinian state, quote, recognizing a Palestinian state based on the 1967 borders is vital to Israel's existence, end quote. This is the group that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was a featured speaker for at their first major conference. This was a group that Debbie co-hosted an event for. This was a group that Representative Wasserman Schultz said, quote, has worthy goals. Friends, those goals, taking Israel back to its 1967 borders, would no doubt lead to Israel's destruction. I want to ask you, those of you who are here now, and those of you who are watching this at home on YouTube, are these the type of politicians you want in office? If you care for Israel as I do, you will vote your conscience and vote them out. Whatever your party affiliation, you must do the right thing. The world has gotten more dangerous, and our country, America, has grown more vulnerable in the process. Our dollar is rapidly dropping in value, and we have an administration that is spending our nation into oblivion. Our jobs are moving overseas, and our middle class are becoming the new poor. We have illegals coming over the border in droves, expecting government assistance, when our ancestors fought hard to have the chance at American citizenship, thanked God, and kissed the ground when they arrived here.
That's right.
Instead of entrepreneurs, we are becoming a nation of dependents. And if we don't work together to fix what we have now, then tomorrow our children and grandchildren will be left with nothing. We can turn this around. We are America, the best of the best. We can turn this around. It is not too late. We can turn this around. The choice is simple: greatness or nothing. I will choose greatness. All I ask is that you please do the right thing. Thank you.
Wow, good job.
Boy, Debbie Wasserman Schultz better watch it. She has a formidable foe now.